I was just looking at something hilarious on my computer. You want to check it out with me? I was doing a Google search of all the ways that kids make excuses for not bringing their homework to school. And surely you're not one of those people. But a quick Google search tells us there are some popular phrases that kids use to get out of not bringing their homework back to school. Let me read you a few. The first one is, my dog ate it. Or the new version is, my dog got sick. Now, I don't know why your dog being sick would mean, hey, I didn't bring my homework, but apparently kids use that. The next one is this, and this is for older kids. My car won't start, so I can't be at school today, or I couldn't turn in my homework on time. That one sounds a little bit better, but it also sounds a little sketchy. Somebody said, I just didn't understand the assignment. Well, that's probably a lie like these other ones, but sometimes we don't understand the assignment and we need some clarification from our teachers. But that's something we should ask. There's another one here that says, I have a toothache. It hurts so bad I can't do my homework. And finally, it's, I needed a book from the library and the library wasn't open. You see, these are all kind of hilarious, but also very common excuses. They're excuses for us getting out of things. And many of them are actual lies that we tell other people. And of course, that's not good. We don't want to lie to other people. As a matter of fact, you have a certain amount of ability. You might say, well, I have physical limitations. I can't run a race because my legs aren't strong enough, or I can't climb high mountains because my arms aren't strong enough. But God has given you many abilities. And one of those abilities is that you can follow God's plan. You can trust or put your faith in God to know that His plan is perfect. And most of the time, God is much stronger than we are. And He can help us accomplish things we thought we would never be able to accomplish. Read with me from Psalm chapter 20, verse 17 today. It's a verse that kind of goes along with this. And it says this, some take pride in chariots, others in horses, but we take pride in the name of the Lord our God. Now, you know what we could do? We could actually replace the word chariots or horses with anything in our life that we rely on. Maybe it's money, maybe it's our friends, maybe it's the way that we dress, or the social clout that we have. But the truth of the matter is that we can trust in God, and God provides all that we need. In today's story, we're going to meet an incredible woman, and I don't want you to miss it, so check this out.
The Israelites disobeyed God, so God allowed Jabin, the king of Canaan, to rule over them. The Israelite army was no match for King Jabin's 900 iron chariots, and Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army. For 20 years, Jabin treated the people of Israel badly. Finally, the Israelites turned back to God and cried to Him for help. Deborah was a judge of the Israelites. She helped the people understand God's laws. Each day, Deborah sat under a palm tree, and the people came to her. She decided what was right or wrong for them to do. One day, Deborah called for Barak. Deborah reminded him that God wanted him to gather 10,000 men and lead them to Mount Tabor to fight Sisera and his soldiers. Barak said to Deborah, "If you will go with me, I will go. But if you will not go with me, I will not go." Deborah replied, "I will gladly go with you, but if I go, you will not receive any credit for this victory." Barak's troops marched up Mount Tabor. When Sisera heard that Barak and his men were on top of the mountain, Sisera called for 900 chariots to go there to fight. Deborah told Barak, "Go, this is the day that the Lord will hand over Sisera to you." As Barak and his 10,000 men marched down the mountain, God confused Sisera and his men. That day, God gave the Israelites victory over Sisera and his army. The Israelites defeated King Jabin and Canaan. On that day, Deborah and Barak sang a praise song to God. There was peace in the land for 40 years.
Deborah is one of my favorite characters. She used her abilities to bring honor to God and ultimately victory for the Israelites. Could Deborah have chosen something else? Well, of course course she could. But she chose to align herself with God, and that meant victory. Throughout the Bible, we read incredible stories of people that chose God, and God gave them victory over things like physical illness or disease or sickness or whatever it might be. But we also see stories of people that choose not to follow God's plan. And that's where I want to land today. I want you to think about Jesus. Jesus came to earth to demonstrate for us what a perfect life looked like. Now, none of us are going to be perfect like Jesus, but he set a perfect example for us, and we should follow in his footsteps. While he was here on earth, he gave us a lot of parables, and those parables were incredible stories that pointed to God's plan. You see, Jesus wanted people to follow him and God's plan for their entire lives. And Jesus demonstrated for us what it means to always obey God and always follow his plan. Just like your homework and the excuses that you make for it, sometimes we think our abilities are lacking, and that might be true. I'm not very good at math, but I know that people that are. I like to write, and maybe other people don't. Maybe you're good at reading and remembering things, and some of us just have a hard time focusing. Those physical abilities are different than the spiritual abilities we're talking about. You can always choose God's best and his perfect plan. And remember the life of Deborah and the choices that she made. And remember the perfect example, the greatest example, found in Jesus as he lived his life and honored God every step of the way.